So there was a conversation going on about classic albums and what makes a classic album. And a lot of people like to throw the word classic when it comes to albums around all willy-nilly, like just loosely throwing around every album that they like or really like or even love and consider it a classic without any standards, without any qualifications, with nothing. It's just, I really love that album, so it's a classic. So for me, in this video, I'm going to kind of explain and break down what my qualifications are and what I kind of go through mentally before labeling an album a classic. Like for me, I guess I'm a hard grader. Like if we're going to talk about classic albums in a sports sense, I feel like a lot of people are like the Basketball Hall of Fame where everybody gets in. Everything is a classic. I tend to look at things closer to like the NFL Hall of Fame where Bill Belichick doesn't get in on the first go round. Like there's a lot of great players and coaches that haven't got into the Hall of Fame that probably deserve to, but still haven't gotten in there because it is hard. The standard is really high. And I think the standard for classic albums should be as high as you can justify them to be, because that stuff matters. Like if everything is a classic, then nothing is a classic. The word classic means nothing. It holds no weight. There holds no volume. Just any old album that I like can be a classic. No, we're not doing that. So if you happen to see me on the streets or on the internet streets and we're talking music and I say something is a classic and something is not a classic, this is going to be my criteria for my thinking behind that statement. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys something. About 90% of you guys that watch this video are not subscribed to the channel. Don't be a weirdo. Subscribe to the channel. Don't be part of the 90%. Be a part of the 10%. And let's get that 10% to 90%. So 90% of you guys that are watching are actually subscribed. That would help me out a lot. Cost you nothing. It's free and I'd appreciate it. The first thing is, does it stand the test of time, or was it impactful for its time? Like production and songwriting. So like, for example, Eric B. and Rakim's Paid in Full is a classic because of that impact. Is it production-wise and sound-wise impactful in 2026? No. But in 1987, there was nobody rapping like Rakim was. And from him doing that, he spawned off countless numbers of rappers that now rap like that. His impact makes that album a classic, because without that album, rap as we know it might not be what it is. The second criteria that I have for it to be a classic album is there can't be any bad songs. No bad songs. If you have a bad song on your album, it is not a classic. Now, I want to make sure that we distinguish what a bad song is and skipping a song, like a skip. So if you look at an album like Thriller, The Girl Is Mine is a bad song. But if you look at an album like Confessions, Truth Hurts is not a bad song, but I skipped that song, if that makes sense. One song is bad, the other song just gets skipped. The third thing that should make a classic album is high-level writing. And high-level writing doesn't mean overcomplicated. Like, that doesn't make it high-level writing. Like, if you look at someone like Stevie Wonder, he repeats the word as after every bar in the song as. Simple, but effective. High-level writing. Lil Jon repeating get crunk over and over and over again. Simple, effective, high-level writing. It works. You also have, for a classic album, you have to have a classic moment. Now, if you listen to an album like To Pimp a Butterfly, Tupac being at the end of that album was a classic moment. Jay-Z and Eminem rapping back and forth with each other on The Blueprint. Classic album. Classic moment. He Say, She Say from Food and Liquor by Lupe Fiasco, him rapping the same thing but from 3 different perspectives, that's a classic moment. All 3 of those albums, classics. You made it this far. If you have not liked the video at this point, what are you waiting for? Just like the video. Hit the like button right now. I'm talking to you. Make sure you like the video and subscribe and drop a comment. All that stuff. This is a threat. Not a threat, a warning. But it could be a threat. Just do it. And the last thing that you need to have with a classic album is it has to pass the Pepsi challenge. Now, I don't know if you guys are old enough to know what the Pepsi challenge is, but it's basically, hey, we got this Pepsi. We'll put this Pepsi down against any other soda. You can bring all the sodas up here, but this Pepsi is going to be the one that everybody will pick out of all these soft drinks. Can you pass the Pepsi challenge with your album if you determine it to be a classic? Now, it doesn't have to stand on the same level as some other classics, but it has to stand a chance when we talk about going song for song, production for production, lyrics. Like if we start comparing things and it's just like, okay, you're getting smoked like 10-0. You haven't won anything. It's not even competitive. You're not in the discussion. You have to at least be able to stand your ground in a debate with other classic albums. So think about American Gangster by Jay-Z. And you compare that to Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar. You can kind of go back and forth like who has the better songs, who has the better features, who told the better story, which sonically made the most sense, which album was sequenced better. There's a lot of things that you can kind of go back and forth in determining like which one was a class or which album is better. Both are classics, but there are little differences and nuances that you can kind of discuss to see which album is better. But if you were to go through everything about those 2 albums and start comparing those 2, you would see that, yeah, they're both classics. That's almost like comparing Marshall Faulk to Emmitt Smith. Marshall Faulk was more of a runner and a catcher. Emmitt Smith was more of a straight line runner. You can kind of determine like what style do you want? How do you like, whose game do you like better? But at the end of the day, those 2 are both Hall of Fame running backs. Those 2 are still all-time great running backs. Those 2 are both top 10 running backs of all time. So you have like American Gangster and Good Kid, Mad City on this side, in the classic side. And then you have an album like 2014 Forest Hills Drive. That's like bringing Clinton Portis into the discussion between Emmitt Smith and Marshall Faulk. No disrespect to Clinton Portis. I love Clinton Portis. I'm a fan of the Miami Hurricanes. Clinton Portis was a great running back. He had a legit run as a top 10 running back for a time. But when we talk about all time, comparing Clinton Portis to all-time great running backs, he comes up a little bit short. And that's the same thing for Forest Hills Drive compared to Good Kid, Mad City or American Gangster. That album doesn't pass the Pepsi challenge if we're going up against other classic albums the way American Gangster and Good Kid, Mad City does. So, in conclusion, the things that make a classic album: does it stand the test of time or was it impactful for its time? It cannot have any bad songs. It has to have high level writing. There has to be a classic moment on it, and it has to pass the Pepsi challenge. Now, these are my qualifications. So if I say an album is a classic or I say it's not, this is what I'm thinking. I really want to know what you guys think. What are the qualifications that you need to have for an album for it to be determined to be a classic album? Now, with these qualifications, as I'm listed in the examples, it's not just rap. It can be R&B albums. It can be pop albums. It can be disco albums. You have to pass all of these things to be a classic album in my book. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. I'm going to be in there. We can discuss it. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Thanks for watching, babe. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel.